Hi, it's Brandy Alexander with your weekly reading from September the 3rd to September the 9th. I've got some really different cards for you today. I decided to use the Australian Bushflower Essence card. They're a natural therapy, similar if you've heard of Bach flowers, and they work on the essence of the flower, not the scent, but the energy of the flower, and they all have like a signature of a personality with them. And I'm going to have to read out of the book for some of it because it's got a fantastic explanation. So these cards will resonate with some of you, and for some of you it won't, because it is a general reading, but there seems to be some very interesting things going on. If you wait to the very end of the reading, there's a couple of qualifying cards that I have for you. So the first card that came up is Stuart Desert Rose, and it is about your true self in releasing guilt. So have a look at that. And every flower has a signature. Nature has signatures. Some of it has to do with what organs in our body it will heal. And the flower essences talk about emotions and ethereal parts of our body that it will heal. And they're really, really great. I have the essences, so for some of you, if you feel like these resonate to you and you live locally, you can give me a ring or email me or message me, and I can make them up for you, because they work subtly. They don't work like, it's not like you eat certain foods and you feel different in a few days. This works, it's very subtle. It changes emotions, and it heals the body as well in a very subtle way. So the negative conditions are guilt, low self-esteem, and being easily led. The Stuart Desert Rose, it's an essence that will help people follow their own inner convictions and morality and do what they know they have to do. Stuart Desert Rose gives people the strength to be true to themselves. So some of you, we've gone on about this. You're letting other people rule your life and control you. This is about doing what's right for you. It can be very difficult for individuals to do what they have to do if it's contrary to whatever, the pressure of everyone else, and this can be within families or workplaces. An example is tremendous peer pressure around drugs and alcohol. So this might be people that are around you, or it could be you yourself. And teenagers in particular have a very strong need to be accepted, and they find it hard not to conform with their friends, and then you can get stuck in this whole loop for life. And with the things that are out there now, they're so addictive. It's really, really hard. As it goes on, this remedy will also restore a person's self-esteem, and it's for the consequence of a person's own actions or not actions that they feel bad about. Guilt has a great effect on self-esteem, and Stuart Desert Rose is a wonderful remedy for guilt, which can be in the form of regrets about past actions or past inaction. So you either did something and it's made you feel guilty, or you wished you did do something. And as the cards pan out, it is about releasing this guilt. You did what you did with the best of your abilities at the time. And regrets can hold people back and can prevent most wonderful things taking place in their lives. So, your eyes are on the wrong thing when you're in regret. It's, you kind of get stuck in the past and you're not moving forward with what you can do. Sometimes guilt is a less conscious nature too. Something that's totally not in your control, and you just decide, oh, well, that's because of me, and it wasn't at all. But it's people that are really embedded in this behavior, usually from a very young age. Your parents might have told you, you had to do everything by the books, their books, and they made you feel guilty. They might made you feel guilty for being alive. You know, we had to pay for you for all your schoolwork. We made you do, they made it sound like you were a real labor in their lives, and then that guilt gets transferred onto you. Stuart Desert Rose people, if this is your main type of personality, you're very apologetic. You're always saying sorry. And, and you might say you're stupid, you're not good enough. There's that real whole thing there about it. So listen to people's words. And if it is you, change your words. Pull yourself up. Don't say that sort of thing. And some people, they do wallow in their own inadequacy. You can really dig yourself a hole. So, and it is quite indulgent to be that way, because to actually realize any bits that are good means you kind of have to work a little bit. And people don't want to do that. They also may be paranoid and feel that others are talking about them and criticizing, because that's how they judge themselves. And they set really high standards for themselves that they have difficulty keeping, because when you are a perfectionist type, there is no such thing as perfect, and then you set it, you expect it from everyone else, but there isn't a perfect. So it's really a vicious cycle. Obligations and duties are very important to these people. So you might be, you get caught in that bind of being perfect or perfectionism, and then you feel guilty in the end because you realize, no, nobody could live up to the standard, not even yourself. So just let that go. In extreme cases, you blame yourselves when things go wrong with others, really when it had nothing to do with you. Now, if you are really in that trap of self-loathing and feeling guilty, you just need tiny goals that are achievable to work your way out of this, because it's a whole new way of thinking. Now, there are some great positives with this card. The positives of these cards are a sense of conviction and integrity, and you can accept what's happened in the past. The positives are courage, conviction, true to self, and integrity. So really sticking to what you believe in. I really do stick to my beliefs, and a lot of people, I think I'm rude sometimes, but I've got really clear boundaries around a lot of things that they don't serve me, they don't serve my beliefs, and if I do them, it's giving the wrong message in my belief. So being true to yourself. And I've said this for weeks now, haven't I? Months, actually. Be true to you. That's all you can do. And be courageous about it. With you moving forward, this is what's coming up for many of you, So that is all about the Stewart Desert Rose. Now, the other card is the Redgrave. Now, I just have to find that. Here it is. Redgrave. And this card is about independence, boldness, strength to leave stuck situations. And that comes up, it's been coming up for a few months for some of you. And let me just find it back in the book, because it gives you such a good message to just be true to yourself. It's really very similar to this other card in a lot of ways. It's time to move on, to have that courage. It's also people that are feeling affected by criticism and unpleasant people. So many of you, you've shifted away from careers and marriages and family situations because of you've been feeling stuck, and it isn't it's not your life path. You have to remember, like a lot of people say, life is short. I say life is too long to live miserably. So it's I remember being in a math class in year 10. I honestly thought I would die before the class would end. It was so boring. So just think, if you're in a very bad life situation with your career or with a partner, don't prolong the agony, because it's your life. The positive outcome of the Redgrave is boldness. Boldness, strength to leave unpleasant situations, indifference to the judgment of others, because you're courageous within yourself. So isn't that exciting? And those are bush flower essence cards. Isn't it amazing that flower cards having to do with a natural therapy can be very similar to our tarot? Many of the cards are. They all seem to align. It's, I guess, in the interpretation too. Now, the other card I've used, they're called fractal art, and they're fractal cards. This card was all about divine love, the love from the earth, the love from God, universe, whatever it is to you, and to really feel that that's your comfort, just to feel it, the loving comfort that is always all around you. It said you're never alone in your own situations, that you just need to notice it and feel it. And Mother Earth is there. She's the feminine, bringing back that love to you, and the universe. Just notice it and take some quiet time out to feel that love, and you will feel it. It'll come back to you. And interestingly enough, a romance card. And I thought about that, and I thought, well, maybe that's the guilt for some of you. Maybe you feel guilty because you're hoping for somebody else and you haven't even left your situation. Or maybe you have met someone and you are still in your old situation. And some of you may be free and feel courageous to be ready to move into your new romance. And it can be the romance that you're craving. So that is coming up. That is very exciting. So that's from September 3rd to September 9th. And we're starting to feel less of the effects of the full moon. Certainly by then, that might even be new moon. I'm not certain, but it's really important to start new undertakings between the new moon and the full moon. So you've got another opportunity there to start fresh things. I'll put it in the description below in the text of when the new moon is. I haven't looked it up. So let go, be bold, be courageous, and if any of you live locally and need some of these bush flower essences, or if you live elsewhere, you might be able to look online to where you can get the Australian bush flower essences, Stuart Desert Rose and Redgrave. And they're drops that you take just under your tongue, or you can put them in a spray bottle and spray them around the room. They do not have a scent. They are not scented. It is the energy of the plant, of the flower. So have a very lovely week. Be good to yourself, and I will see you in another week. Actually, yeah, I should be able to be right in another week. I'm just having a little bit of surgery on my finger. And actually, interestingly enough, the Redgrave is to keep out hospital bugs. It will keep away things like staph and stuff like that. And I have used it years ago on a client of mine that had a staph infection from the hospital, and it got rid of it. So interesting, very interesting. So I'll see you next week. Please share and like the video. Bye.